All right, everybody breathe. Good. Okay, last week we talked about choice. And I know y'all really heard, and I know that you've been practicing this week, really exercising your ability to choose more consciously. A few? Okay, good. Great. That's great. Today I do want to talk to you about thriving. And I want to talk to you about unhooking a thought that is prevalent in the consciousness of mankind, and it still exists within us. So during the month of July, really what we're trying to do is, in a very gentle way, maybe unhook some of these catches that have caught us into repetition, instead of allowing our creativity to create the manifestation that we choose. So, you're following me so far? Okay. All right, so today I want to talk to you about your spiritual natures. Your spiritual nature, you know, is that gentle place where you feel totally connected with God and you feel the flow of energy. You all know this. When you meditate, you go there. That's beautiful spirit. And then we open our eyes, and then it's like the world calls us to interact with it. And the world says, I need you to react to what I'm doing. I need you to play with me. I need you to have an opinion. I need you to get involved. Do you understand? And then when we do that, we get into that reactionary posturing, sometimes we forget that beautiful spirit. And even as metaphysicians, we still do this. We forget that space, that beautiful space. And there is within our consciousness this struggle between my spirit, one with God, and who I am in the world. And what I need to do in the world. And I'm trying to do in the world. And if my spirit tries to talk to me, I go, no, I'm busy. Don't you know I have to get this done? Don't you know you gave me this project to do? I need to do this. Is everybody resonating with what I'm saying? That the two worlds that exist within us, that beautiful spirit that we love to go to, and then this place where we feel like we have to interact with the world, and they do not match, they don't meet. This struggle keeps us in separation. It keeps us in internal difficulty within ourselves, strife instead of thriving. So, we as a people have created this idea that spiritual commitment is totally surrendering to God. When we go into that spirit, aren't we totally surrendering? And if in your worldly way, when you're doing your world thing, someone would come to you and say, surrender to God, in your mind you think that means I have to give up everything in the outer and go into this holy place. Do you not? Total surrender. I've got to go into this place of sanctuary where I can meditate and breathe and be and totally not be bothered by the earth anymore. That's how dramatically we view this surrender to spirit. Don't bother me, earth plane. I want to go heal. I want to go be. I want to meditate. I want to write. I want to just be this beautiful expression of God without interacting with the world. And that's this ideal that sits upon us. And Jesus said, sell all you have and follow me. And we've interpreted this immersion into spirit as separation. We think of following Jesus as isolating and living simply. Getting off the grid. I've talked to people who want to get off the grid. I don't want to be in the world anymore. I want to just follow spirit and live by myself. Y'all feel what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
A little of this lives in everybody. It's in everybody. So I was watching a television program the other day, this year. There was a beautiful little special about a monastery on an island somewhere in the Mediterranean. And on this island is nothing but the monastery. You have to have permission to come. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And men, it's men only, men who feel called by spirit for this particular faith, sacrifice their entire lives to become monks, and they travel across this river and they commit their lives to the monastery, and there they've surrendered everything. Well, I was quite surprised to know what they do once they make this surrendering. They probably have several hours of prayer and meditation every morning, And then you know what they do? They have many, 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 many hours of labor. They work. They till the soil. They plant seeds. They harvest the grain. They make bread. They make wine. They are farmers. They work. They work. If anyone has ever been invited to live in any extended time at a retreat center, guess what you do? You work. You may have some time to pray and meditate, but you work. You get up. You cut the grass. You help make the dinners. You clean the cabins. You work. Do you see what I'm saying? This idea of isolating from this worldly work where we have to give our energy to receive doesn't hold up, does it? Not on this earth plane. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where you give your energy to receive and return. Spiritual pursuits are not separate from the work that you do. I was talking to one of our young people, another one who wanted to get off the grid. Going to get off the grid. Get off the grid. Get away from all these people. And then she was telling me about this beautiful retreat they have once a year, which I'd never heard of. But it sounded fabulous. She said, it's great. You go, everybody camps out. It travels around the United States, different places. You camp out, and everything is free. The food is free. You can eat. People feed you. And then if you want a healing, they'll give you a healing, and it's all free. I said, that's very interesting. Who paid for the food? I don't know. I guess somebody donated it. Well, who paid for the seeds that went into the ground? And who harvested those seeds? And who made that food? There is an energy investment in everything you're receiving. You're not going there and being taken care of. You're going to be asked to give something. There is energy in everything that we do. And yet we have, again, this spiritual thing that I'm going to go into this beautiful space of meditation and prayer, and all will be taken care of. All will be taken care of if you give your energy and return to the world so you can receive. I heard one person say a long time ago that it took millions of dollars to keep Gandhi in poverty. He lived very humbly, but he had an entourage of how many people? And somebody had to pay to transport him, and somebody had to pay for the food, and somebody had to pay for the clothing. Somebody was out there investing their energy and receiving on a material level and investing into this spiritual thing. If there's one thought I want to get through today, you are here on a spiritual journey of investing your energy in matter. When you meditate, all is right with the world. And when you open your eyes, the question is, how are you going to invest that energy? That all that is right within you, that beauty of you, how are you going to share it with the world? How are you going to share it? That's the first question when you open your eyes. What do I need to do? All right. As you give, so you shall receive. In our world, we've created an economic base to satisfy our human needs. Oh, I think that's pretty good. In our world, we've created an economic base to satisfy our human needs. Well, if I'm going to do something for David, my human need wants David to pay me back. So I determine a value, and David gives me a piece of paper that is symbolic of the energy I've given him. Thank you. You see? Symbolic of the energy I've given him. Now I invest that back in me. This is the economic base that we've created in our world to satisfy our needs. Okay? Does that kind of deflate your power over money? Money's power over you? All the money you have represents the energy you've invested in the world. And it's waiting to be reinvested in what you choose. You understand? It might feel good to look at the numbers in your bank account, and they might feel good to watch them grow, but until they come back into reinvesting into you, it's just on hold. It's energy in hold. You're holding it for yourself. And that's fine. It's good. It's not a bad thing. Following me? Okay. But in spirit, there is an energy base which strives to keep everything in balance. As you give, so you shall receive. Our economic base lives within us based on the thoughts that we hold. And this economic base is not separate from spirit. It lives within this spiritual consciousness that as you give, so you shall receive. The spiritual base that we live in supplies all our needs based on what we choose to receive. The economic base lives within that because we choose to experience that. Which has the greater power then? Is everybody hearing? The spiritual base. The spiritual base. It is not separate. Sell all you have and follow me really means release all your attachment to matter and then turn your vision to spirit. And in that, all your needs will be met. All your needs will be met. They are not met by magic. They are met by laws. As you give, so you shall receive. If you give worry to someone, so you shall receive worry. If you stress someone out, so you shall receive stress. If you lovingly share of your heart, so you shall receive loving support. So, giving and receiving, there's also the law of increase. As I give with the intention to increase, it will come back to me exponentially. I can increase my boundaries and borders. There's the law of tithe as I partner with God. And I consciously bring God into my finances. The sky's the limit. Universal laws govern this. Universal laws which are a part of divine mind, which are a part of our spiritual identity. Okay? Sell all you have. A total commitment to spirit is to use your energy to gift the world with a presence of God. How about that thought? A total commitment to spirit. Use your energy to bless the world with the presence of God. Think with me. You've had a great meditation and a great spiritual connection. You've gotten a great aha. How do you feel? Fabulous. Don't you feel connected with God and you're a child of God and all is well? Okay? You're in corporate. You've got this big business deal going on. You're talking to God and asking for guidance and you're doing what you're guided to do. And the deal goes down without a hitch and it is flawless. How do you feel? Do you feel any less fabulous that it was a demonstration in matter? You feel the same because you're connected with God. God just went through with me consciously through this physical ordeal, through this physical experience, not necessarily an ordeal. In matter, God's presence is the same when you're in your spirit and when you're demonstrating that in matter. Y'all know this. Do you experience it often? Okay, some do. All right, great. So, when you buy the seeds of your investment, do you include God? When you till the soil for the seeds of your investment, do you include God? When you sell the product of the seeds of your investment, do you include God? And when you deposit the money of the seeds of your investment, do you include God? Is God a part of all that you do? That is total immersion in spirit, when God is a part of all that you do. If God is there in every moment, if you are asking for guidance and following that guidance, you are in fact selling all you have. God is in your financial affairs too. I did want to share a brief story with you. You know, sometimes I go way back in my stories, but the first time you have a little miracle or a little aha, it sticks in your brain. You can have 20 million after that, but that very first one's like, that's your story. You know, that's the one that comes up.